Hey, it's Kate, and today on Too Many Hobbies, Not Enough Time, we are making leg warmers! I have really been over this summer recently and I am ready for fall, so I was like, why not make some accessories that I can wear for fall? So I am going to walk you through how to make these leg warmers. It is a super easy pattern. I think we're really only using 2 stitches the entire time, and then we're doing some cuffs, and that's really it. Steaming is the most important thing in this project, so make sure you have a steamer. But if you're over summer just like I am and you want to make some fall accessories, then stay tuned for this video. For this pattern, what you're gonna need is some weight 4 yarn. I'm using some Big Twist. I'm so sad that Joann's is gone. And then I'm also gonna be using a 4mm hook. I've already made the first leg warmer, so I'm gonna walk you through how to make these so I can make my second one, because I can't do much with just one leg warmer. First, what we gotta do is figure out how long you want your leg warmers to be. I chained 40 for mine, so I'm gonna go ahead and chain 40. Once you chain 40, you are gonna do half double crochets all the way down the chain, and you should have a total of 39 half double crochets because we are gonna skip that 40th chain and use it as our turning chain. So just go ahead and do half double crochets all the way down. Once you finish doing your half double crochets, go ahead and chain 1. We're gonna go ahead and turn our work, and we're gonna do half double crochets in the back loops. We're gonna continue doing half double crochets in the back loops until it is long enough to fit all the way around where you're wanting it to be on your legs. So for me, that was 41 rows. So I'm gonna continue doing half double crochets in the back loops for 41 rows. I will zoom you in to show you what I'm doing. If you already know how to do a half double crochet, there will be timestamps, so go ahead and skip to that. So when I'm talking about back loop half double crochet, what I am talking about is we are making half double crochets, but in the back loop. So the back loops are gonna be these back loops over here. So what I'm gonna do is just do a normal half double crochet. So if you don't know how to do a half double crochet, what we're gonna do is take your yarn and yarn over and then into the back loop. So I'm gonna pull just this one right here, and we're gonna go into the back area and pull it through. So now we're gonna have 3 yarn loops on our hook, and we're gonna go ahead and yarn over and pull it through all 3 of them. So again, going into the back loop, yarn over, and pull it through all 3. Again, going into that back loop, and you're just gonna do this for the entire row. So I'm gonna continue doing half double crochets in the back loops for 41 rows. Another thing I wanted to mention too, when you're making the leg warmers, don't stretch them to check if they fit you. Just lay it like on top of your leg and check if the sides like match. If you stretch them, they're not gonna get this bootleg look. That's how I was able to get the bootleg look. You just kind of want it to lay over the largest part of your leg so you have the most stretch for like the bootleg look. I will show you in just a second what I'm talking about. So I am gonna take this and just go like that. And I'm not stretching it, I'm just laying it like this to check to make sure that it fits all the way around. You can totally do the stretching technique if you want to and you don't want the more flowy bootleg cut type of look, but it will be a lot more straight. So they'll look more almost like those boot socks that you see with like boots that hang out of the top of the boot. It'll look more like those where they're more straight, where these will flow and these will sit on top of like your boots. These ones are almost like a skirt for your feet, whereas if you stretch it to make it more tight, it's almost like pants for your feet. I know you're probably like, Kay, why are you making leg warmers in summer? And if I gotta be honest, I am really missing autumn so much. I love fall. It is my absolute favorite holiday of all time. And I don't know, I just thought this might put me in the mood for fall. I've been wanting to watch like my favorite fall movies, and I've been starting to put on hold my favorite fall books and stuff. So I don't know, I've been in a very fall mood, and I thought maybe this would help me be more in the fall mood. I do have quite a few fall accessories and home decor things that I want to upload onto here, so hopefully if I have time this fall, we will get some new crochet videos out, and I think you guys will really like them. I also want to do a video of me just talking about all the things that I'm excited for in fall. Arizona is one of those states that we have very hot years all throughout the season, so fall for Arizona is still pretty hot here, but during the night it gets cooler. Like we'll reach like 80-degree temp. In the day it's still pretty hot, I'm not gonna lie. Up north though in Arizona, like in northern Arizona, oh, it is so pretty during fall. Like you get to see all the leaves changing. It's actually cooler weather there. Ooh, it is so pretty in northern Arizona. I have to book a trip for northern Arizona this year. I swear, it is beautiful up there. And it's like pine trees, so it's so different than like where I'm living in Arizona, because where I'm living at is like cactus and palm trees, and there's no pine trees around me whatsoever. So I'm gonna take like a 2-hour trip up north and see some pine trees changing colors. But I don't know, fall is just one of those things. It reminds me of my childhood. I love fall. And then you're done with making your rows. When you finish your rows, go ahead and chain one, and now we're gonna go ahead and cut our yarn. We're gonna want to cut our yarn long enough to sew up these two sides together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the yarn, honestly, probably like this long. It's probably like 2 feet, 1.5 feet, somewhere around that range. So that should give me enough yarn to sew up the sides. So I'm just gonna cut and then just pull your hook through. That little chain that we did will act as a knot to not let our stitches come undone. So now we're just gonna go ahead and sew the two sides together. So grab your yarn needle, and what I'm gonna do, so the side of the yarn that is the right side of the yarn is gonna be the one with the tail on the left. So what I'm doing is my tail is on the left, and I'm just taking the top, folding it down. And now I'm gonna take this yarn and I'm gonna weave it in and out of the stitches. Specifically, what I am doing is weaving it into the, I'll just zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing. So what I am doing is with the fabric that is further than me, I am going into the front loops like that. And then with the yarn that is closest to me, I am going in the back loops. So I'm gonna go into the back loop right there. So I'm just gonna continue doing the one further from me in the front loops and the one closest to me in the back loops. And you're just gonna do this all the way down. It's gonna give you a very seamless sew finish. Once you finish sewing, we're gonna attach our yarn and do the top ribbing. So for my ribbing, it looks like this. So you're just gonna attach your yarn onto any of the stitches that you want, and we're just gonna do a single crochet in each of the stitches. I personally don't like having extra ends to weave in, so I just attached my yarn onto the yarn that I use to sew the two sides together, so I don't have to have any extra yarn. So what I'm gonna do is just make a chain really quick, and now I'm gonna do a single crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. When you're doing these stitches, just trust your gut. You'll know where to put the stitches. Just make sure there's a stitch in at least like one stitch in every row, and then you'll see spots that you'll be like, I think there needs to be a stitch there, put a stitch there. It does not need to be perfect. We're just adding single crochets in each of the stitches on the top. Once you finish doing your single crochets all the way around, go ahead and slip stitch into your first single crochet. And we're gonna go ahead and chain one and turn our work. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease all the way around. So single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease. I will zoom you in to show you how to do a single crochet decrease if you don't know how. So to do a single crochet, what you're gonna do is insert your hook into your stitch, yarn up and pull up one loop and pull that loop through. Now to do a single crochet decrease, we're gonna insert our hook and pull up some yarn. Now we're gonna go into this next hoop, insert our hook and pull up some yarn, and now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're gonna pull through all 3, and that's how you do a single crochet decrease. And then again, we're gonna do a single crochet, and then a single crochet decrease, and then a single crochet, and then a single crochet decrease. And then when you get there, go ahead and slip stitch into your first stitch. And now we're gonna turn our work. Now go ahead and chain 8. Skipping that 8th chain, do 7 single crochets down the chain. When you have your 7 single crochets, go ahead and slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. Now we're gonna turn our work. We're gonna skip those 2 slip stitches that we just did, and we're gonna do single crochets in the back loops of the single crochets that we did just previously. So in the back loops of those 7 single crochets, just do 7 more single crochets. Now when you have your 7th single crochet, chain 1, turn your work, and in the back loops again, we're gonna do 7 more single crochets. And once you finish those 7 stitches, we're gonna slip stitch into the next 2 stitches, turn our work, and continue doing what we've been doing all the way around. So we're going to be slip stitching into the next 2 stitches around this, and then we're gonna go up 7, down 7, slip stitch into the next 2, up 7, down 7, and continue doing that all the way around. When you have no more single crochets around the border of the cuffing, what you're gonna do is do your 7 single crochets as normal in the back loops. And then after you do your 7 single crochets in the back loops, we're gonna go ahead and chain 1, and we're gonna cut our yarn. And then pull your crochet hook through, and then we're gonna grab our sewing needle. Just like how we sewed the 2 sides together for the body of the leg warmers, we're gonna do the same for the cuffing. So with the fabric that is closest to you, you're gonna go into the back loops, and then the one furthest from you, you're gonna go into the front loops. And we're just gonna sew it down like this. And once we finish this, we will get into steaming. The steaming is by far the most important part out of anything with this project. That's what gives it the whole bootleg look and gives it the whole shape. So do not miss out on steaming for this project. In order to give the leg warmers shape, we're gonna have to steam them. I use the Chi handheld steamer. I think it is by far the best steamer that I have ever used. Specifically for these leg warmers, what you're going to want to do is focus the steam on elongating them and also on the bottom part, making them more bootleg cut. I do this by pulling the fabric down. As you can see right here what I'm doing, I am taking the fabric and like stretching it in order to get it that bootleg look, and I'm doing this on every single side of the leg warmers. And then don't forget when you're done steaming it to flip it inside out. And then we have our leg warmers. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I have lots of videos coming out soon for some more fall fashion. I have lots of accessories that I want to make for this fall, so stay tuned for those videos. And give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I will see you on the next one. Bye!